the GOAT basketball player in your opinion?
Michael Jordan. Period. Mike never did that. Never did that. Kobe stayed 20 years with the Lakers. LeBron, he's always running around. He got 6 titles, right? Jordan,
Yeah.
6.
He's 6-0.
6-0. He never lost. That man can do it all. No, he can do it all.
All right.
I told you, I said no weakness.
Are y'all serious right now? Stop disrespecting LeBron.
In the never-ending debate over who deserves the GOAT crown, certain moments cut through all the noise like nothing else, and this was one of them. When Kenny Anderson, a man who actually shared the court with Michael Jordan, gave his verdict, it landed with the weight of lived experience. Jordan, end of discussion. No pause, no qualifiers, no diplomatic softening, just a straight answer from someone who earned the right to give it. And that's precisely what makes his words carry a different kind of authority. This wasn't a fan piecing together highlight reels or a commentator working off statistics. This was a professional who felt Jordan's presence up close, who understood firsthand what it meant to stand across from number 23, knowing that whatever defensive scheme you ran, whatever adjustment you made, it likely wasn't going to be enough. That's the gap that today's LeBron supporters often can't bridge. Their case is built on clips and analytics. Anderson's generation built theirs on survival, on showing up night after night against a player who made elite defenders feel ordinary. What makes his take even more striking is the fairness he showed. He didn't dismiss LeBron or Kobe, he acknowledged both openly. But when the question came down to one name, there was no internal debate. Jordan, full stop. Then came the line that really stuck. Anderson said Jordan simply did not make mistakes on a basketball court. Not just the 6 championships without a finals loss, not just the iconic moments, but an operating standard so precise and so relentless that every counter, every double team, every last-ditch defensive rotation became a dead end, like watching a chess grandmaster play the entire board 3 moves ahead while everyone else was still figuring out their first. That's why Anderson's testimony resonates beyond the usual GOAT discourse. In a sports era that increasingly rewards longevity and volume, Jordan exists in a category that neither stat sheets nor career timelines can fully capture. A level of competitive flawlessness that produced 0 exploitable weaknesses. It's the one argument that remains standing no matter how the debate shifts. And at the very top of basketball history, that kind of perfection isn't just impressive, it's the only thing that truly matters.
Not because of the competition level. And I'm not, LeBron is one of the best ever to play the game, but when you run around different teams, you play with this guy, play with that guy, Mike never did that. Never did that. He stayed and got Pippen, but other than that, it was just they were good players, but LeBron James, Kobe stayed 20 years with the Lakers. LeBron, he's always running around playing with Wade, Chris Bosh, they won, and
Kyrie, Kevin Love.
Yeah, Kevin Love.
Jordan didn't go looking for championships. He built them from the ground up. And that's exactly where Kenny Anderson's point cuts right through the LeBron narrative. Michael Jordan never retreated from a hard situation. He never surveyed the league looking for a softer landing spot. Instead, he planted his feet in Chicago, absorbed the losses, endured the physical punishment Detroit handled him year after year, weathered the challenge Boston presented, and methodically constructed a dynasty brick by brick. No shortcuts, no detours, just the long, difficult road taken all the way to the end. LeBron's path looked different. He left Cleveland when the burden became too much to carry alone, joined forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami to form one of the most deliberate super teams the league had seen, returned to Cleveland only after Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were already in position, and eventually moved to Los Angeles alongside Anthony Davis. Each move was calculated, each destination was prepared. The comparison to Scottie Pippen often comes up in Jordan's defense, and it's worth addressing directly. Pippen wasn't a finished product when he arrived. He was shaped within Jordan's system, pushed to his ceiling by the competitive standard MJ set every single day in practice and on the floor. Jordan didn't inherit a co-star, he forged one. That's the heart of the distinction. Jordan didn't walk into a kingdom, he constructed one. His championships weren't assembled from available pieces, they were grown through culture, discipline, and a refusal to lower the standard even when it would have been easier to do so. Even Kobe Bryant, the player most often mentioned as Jordan's closest reflection, demonstrated that same quality. 20 years, one franchise, a complete organizational collapse in between, and a return to the top without ever considering the exit. That kind of loyalty to the challenge means something. It separates those who rule from those who simply relocate until conditions improve. Jordan held his position without flinching, and while LeBron's resume is undoubtedly impressive, there's a version of his story that reads more like a star passing through cities than a king defending his throne. That's why Anderson's words continue to land so hard. Jordan didn't chase rings, he didn't run from the fight, and in the GOAT conversation, how you win carries just as much weight as how many times you win. Because true greatness doesn't look for easier ground. It makes the ground it stands on.
Let's look at the record. He got 6 titles, right? Jordan,
Yeah.
6.
He's 6-0.
6-0. He never lost.
That's true. That's true.
Like, I don't, he never lost.
Then he
He lost in the first round. He lost and didn't make it to the playoffs. There was other times
When he was playing
lost.
baseball, he came back.
He lost other times. Are we just going to erase every loss with an asterisk?
No, because Boston was beating him down.
Yeah.
with 4 Hall of Famers in the starting lineup.
LeBron lost to KD, Steph, and Clay, and we don't put no asterisk next to it. We just say he lost.
6 trips to the finals, 6 championships, 6 finals MVP awards. Not a single loss on the biggest stage. That is the standard Michael Jordan set, and it remains untouched to this day. It's also exactly why Kenny Anderson's verdict carried so much force. When he pointed to Jordan's perfect 6-0 finals record, he wasn't building a case. He was stating a fact so clean it leaves no room for a counter-argument. LeBron James, by contrast, enters that same finals conversation at 4 wins and 6 losses. And even within those 4 victories, the margins were razor-thin in ways that matter. Take the 2013 NBA Finals. LeBron turned the ball over twice in the final minute of Game 6, and it was Ray Allen's corner 3 with seconds remaining that kept the Miami Heat alive. Without that shot, the series ends there, and LeBron's finals record drops to 3 wins and 7 losses. Then there's 2016, a performance that was genuinely spectacular, but the championship wasn't sealed until Kyrie Irving hit a pull-up jumper over Stephen Curry with under a minute left in Game 7. Remove that shot from the equation, and the Cleveland Cavaliers don't win. Strip both moments away, and LeBron's finals record reads 2-8. That's not selective criticism. That's simply what the historical record shows. Jordan never found himself in a position where someone else had to step in and save the outcome. He was the rescue plan. He was the closer. Every time the moment demanded a final answer, Jordan was the one who provided it. LeBron's finals resume also includes some difficult chapters. The 2011 collapse against the Dallas Mavericks, where he went uncharacteristically quiet in the fourth quarter when his team needed him most. The 2014 series against the San Antonio Spurs, which turned into a comprehensive dismantling. And the 2018 opener against Golden State, where he passed up a potential game-winning shot late in overtime, and the wheels came off from there. Jordan's finals appearances never had that texture. They weren't dramatic series hanging in the balance. They felt like formalities playing out in real time, coronations, not competitions. That's why 6-0 is more than a statistic. It's a doctrine, a standard of finals perfection that defines the very ceiling of what's possible in this sport. And it's the reason Anderson's words hit the way they did. No softening, no asterisks, no contextual footnotes.
Just Jordan's flawless record standing exactly where he left it.
Oh, man. That man can do it all. No, he can do it all.
All right.
I told you, I said no weakness.
No.
You might have called him early on.
And a lot of people say, well, he didn't pass the ball. He's a scorer. He's a two scorer. Scorer. Period.
He was a scorer.
That's and when he did get tripped, he found Jim Paxson. Won the game.
Found Kerr.
Mm-hmm.
Found B.J. Armstrong.
And that probably was like 2 assists. Yeah,
I thought
that was all he needed.
That's all he needed. Just give me some breathing room.
Yep, that's it.
I feel you.
So it's the end of the discussion?
No, but we talking about, but LeBron James is more, I would put him in like a little Magic a little bit.
Yeah.
That's because he passed, he does it all.
Yeah. Making guys better.
Yeah.
He'll turn down the shot and find the open guy, make the right play.
Jordan shooting that.
Are y'all serious right now? Stop disrespecting LeBron.
No, we respecting him.
Y'all saying he's in the Magic. He's more in the Magic. No, he's in the GOAT conversation also.
There's people that believe the Magic's in the GOAT conversation,
yeah.
so we're not disrespecting him.
Yeah, no, Magic is in the GOAT. All right, man. All right. I'm gonna
He's
show
talking
respect
to
to y'all.
2-point guards. We said Magic. That's the fate.
Jordan had no weaknesses, not one. And that wasn't a marketing line or a fan's exaggeration. That was Kenny Anderson's lived testimony, the kind of assessment that only comes from a man who faced him on the floor and felt the full weight of what that meant. Jordan wasn't simply a scorer. He was a complete force with no off switch. Push him left, and he made you pay going left. Force him right, and he glided past you anyway. Send 2 defenders, and he'd split them, spin into that signature fadeaway, or deliver a pass that cut the defense apart before anyone realized what happened. At the rim, he was equally comfortable with either hand. In the mid-range, he was merciless. In transition, he was relentless. And in the post, he was precise and calculated. You couldn't entrap him into a mistake. You couldn't bait him into a bad decision. No coaching staff could draw up a scheme that took him out of a game. His completeness suffocated defenses before they could even execute their plan. And the idea that Jordan was reluctant to pass, that's a narrative that doesn't survive contact with the actual record. When a game demanded the right play over the highlight play, Jordan always made it. In the 1991 finals against the Los Angeles Lakers, he repeatedly found John Paxson for critical baskets when the defense collapsed on him. In 1993, he broke down the Phoenix Suns and trusted B.J. Armstrong at the right moment. In 1997, he told Steve Kerr to stay ready, and when the moment arrived, Kerr buried the game winner. That wasn't about padding an assist total. That was a winner making the correct decision every single time the game was on the line. His passing wasn't performed generosity. It was pure situational intelligence aimed at one thing: winning, nothing more. When you place that next to LeBron James, the contrast becomes difficult to dismiss. LeBron's greatness is real and it's undeniable, but it has always come with visible limitations. His free throw shooting has been a liability for the better part of 2 decades. His jump shot has remained inconsistent under pressure, and there's a documented pattern of deferring in the moments that matter most, a hesitation that surfaces precisely when a player of his caliber should be taking over. Jordan operated in reverse. Pressure didn't expose cracks in his game, it revealed the full version of it. He welcomed the double team. He stepped to the free throw line without flinching. He demanded the final shot because his game was constructed specifically for those moments. LeBron's brilliance, as extraordinary as it is, has always carried conditions attached to it. That's why Kenny Anderson's conversation naturally moved toward Kobe Bryant, because if any player ever came close to occupying Jordan's specific territory, it wasn't LeBron, it was Kobe. The obsession, the self-discipline, the refusal to accept anything less than complete mastery, all of it mirrored what Jordan built his legacy on. Kobe spent 20 years with the Los Angeles Lakers, never once looking for a way out when the roster fell apart around him. He rebuilt through it. His footwork, his fadeaway, that ice-cold composure when everything was on the line,
all of it traced directly back to the blueprint Jordan established. When the game was in the balance, Kobe didn't search for the smart basketball play. He hunted for the shot that would end the conversation, even with a defender's hand in his face. That's what made him Jordan's true successor, rather than LeBron. Because the honest truth is that LeBron's greatness belongs to a different lineage entirely. He is far closer in spirit to Magic Johnson, a generational facilitator, a floor general, a creator whose basketball intelligence is historic and whose legacy is beyond debate. But that is a different bloodline than the one Jordan and Kobe defined. That ruthless, singular killer mentality, that specific DNA, was never the foundation of LeBron's game. And saying that isn't a dismissal, it's simply an accurate description. Kenny Anderson didn't tear LeBron down, he corrected the mythology. The true heir to Michael Jordan wasn't the superstar who passed through Cleveland, Miami, and Los Angeles. It was the man who bled purple and gold for 2 decades without ever considering another option. And when you step back and look at the full picture, the conclusion becomes impossible to argue against. Jordan never ran. He never sought easier ground. He stayed in Chicago, went 6-0 in the finals, and did it without last-second miracles or someone else closing the deal. LeBron sits at 4 wins and 6 losses in the finals, with his 2 most celebrated championships permanently tied to Kyrie Irving's pull-up jumper and Ray Allen's corner 3. Jordan had no weaknesses, no exploitable tendencies, no late-game hesitation, nothing a defense could target and attack. LeBron's flaws at the free throw line, with his jumper and in high-leverage moments, have followed him throughout his career. So when Kenny Anderson was asked to name the greatest of all time, he didn't deliver a lecture or walk through a statistical comparison. He gave a verdict: Jordan, Jordan. Because when you have stood directly in front of perfection, you don't need to build a case for it. You simply recognize it for what it is. Jordan was complete. Jordan was inevitable. And Jordan remains the one standard that LeBron James, for all his remarkable greatness, could never quite reach.